Sports Talk with Playeragent3. I got my guy Jamal Robinson back on the show. We got some more stuff we got to talk about, man. Before you give me your top five from New York City, we got to talk about New York basketball. What happened, man? What happened to the city game? Now, I came up with you and the Kareem Reeds, man, the alley mo. I came up back in that '90s era, man, when New York was producing a lot of top-notch names, man. But recently here, it hasn't been like that.
Man, it's been a.
So you got to talk to me, man. You got to talk to me. What's going on?
It's one of those that, like, so when I retired is when I really noticed the drop-off, being at the events and not seeing a lot of guys from the city there. But I actually asked a lot of the dudes, actually the guys that I played with are now coaches. So I asked them, I was like, what's going on pretty much? And they just told me that it just got watered down. When I was coming up, you pretty much had two teams, Riverside Church or the Gauchos. You had the Broncos, who was always there. They were there ahead. But the two larger teams were, you were either, with Riverside Church or you were a Gaucho with the Gauchos. And they just said that, it got to the point where you had hood dudes who used to take care of the dudes, guys in regards to maybe some shoes or, putting a team in a tournament here and there around the city. They got hip to it and they started getting their own teams. And then you had parents that started just getting their own teams. And before you knew it, there was a team on every block. So the talent got watered down. You had, the best kid from Brooklyn doing this, and it wasn't as concentrated as it was when I was coming out. Mm-hmm. It's definitely hurt the city tremendously.
Do you think it's the game has become so global, man? Everybody has gotten better.
I mean, yeah. You look at we didn't have all these, skilled trainers and all this stuff. That's stuff that you saw once you turned pro. You didn't see that. You didn't have dudes just doing that in the park, like with cones and all that. So you definitely have the skill base, but at the same time, you just got people who got hip to the whole AAU thing. Like, okay, my son starts off with the church. I don't like the amount of time he gets. So you know what? Next summer I'm gonna get my own damn team, and I'm gonna do my own thing. And that just trickled down. And this is how it was explained to me. So now, like I said, it's all watered down. You got guys, instead of there being a heavy concentration, you have guys, all through the city, playing for different mom and pop teams and stuff like that.
Right. Now, it's funny that you talk about AAU and skill trainers. I want to get your thought on this real quick, man. What do you think the AAU has hurt the game? And what do you think about skills trainers? There are 1,000,001 skills trainers now. You didn't have that back when we was coming up. Talk about that a little bit.
We had the parks. And I just read somewhere Kobe was, and I think it was more of a pro thing where he advised, I forgot who it was, that he shouldn't play pickup.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it bugged me out, but I was thinking I could see that maybe from a pro standpoint, because you've gotten there. And if anything, instead of playing so much, maybe you need to work on specific skills. I think that's what he's trying to say, work on specific things, work on, different things you want to add to your tool belt, so when the season comes, you can, whatever. But I think that you should do both. Now, in regards to this training stuff, I was a skill developer, and I was hesitant because of the hustle. You got people who are taking advantage of something that I truly love and I'm extremely passionate about. And they're just doing it for the dollar. Let's get as many kids in at one session so I can get that money mark. And so I was against that, and I almost didn't get into that. But then I saw there was a need. And, through all my experiences, I thought I could help. So I jumped in. But I just don't understand how you have all this. You have all this technology as far as shoes. You know, we have all these trainers and stuff like that, yet the game is, in my eyes, it's hurting. Some people don't think it's hurting. In my eyes, and I'm sure such as yourself who grew up like we did, seeing what we saw and the way the game was back then, it's hurting. And these kids, and now that I'm a college coach, I see what they're saying, because like we'd have coaches before these skills academies, these camps, would come by and crack. We thought it was jokes, but we saw it wasn't jokes. You know, could you please teach these kids a little bit more? Like when they're getting to our level, meaning the coaching side, when they get to the, you know, whatever school they choose, the coaches were saying that they'd find, and now I'm a coach, we'd have to teach a lot. And there was one thing that I did see, and it was pretty much warned in the beginning before camp started, especially my very first Elite 100. It was like, you know, these kids are not elite. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then when you do your week, you see what they're talking about. It's all the little things. There's so much that's lacking.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're doing the skill development stuff, yes, you want to do the cotton candy, you know, all the fluff.
Yeah.
That foundation, you got to have a foundation.
Right.
If you get a kid that doesn't have that foundation, then it's your job. You know, you gotta teach that. You gotta lay that, and at the same time, you know, build upon. And it's just different, man. I just don't understand how we have all these things, and yet maybe these kids are more talented than we were at that age or whatever.
Right.
But those park sessions, you know, there was so many values in that.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that's lacking is competitiveness.
Exactly.
These guys are cool with each other, and this, you know, that was a no-no. Like, it was understood, like, on, you know, in between those lines, you go at them, and then, you know, when you come off, you know, the other side, when you come off the court, then you can be cool. But
right.
You know, I hope I answered your question.
Hey, that's cool, man. Before we get to this top 5, man, I just wanted to ask you, do you feel like, and I want to give a shout out to Harold Dean, who brought this up yesterday. Do you feel like you get your just due as a former New York City guard in terms of, you know, one of the best to come out of the city?
I mean, I really don't care. You know, as long as I'm respected. And it was funny. You remember the last All-Star that was in New York?
Yeah.
So they had boroughs, and they had names, and my name was in there. Like,
okay.
So it's there. You know, it may not be sham and all that, but again, like it ain't even when I left school. Like after my freshman, sophomore year, I didn't come home like that. Again, I think I told you, like once I started professionally and I'm in Miami and stuff like that, I didn't come home like a high five Reggie Freeman. So, you know, it's one of those things where those guys, you know, when they see me, they're like, damn, where you been? How long? You know, it's been years. Like, so I can understand it. And it wasn't as if, you know, I went around rah-rah and like, it's all good. Like, I don't worry about that. As long as when they see you, I feel that love and appreciation, I'm fine.
Exactly.
I don't need to be, you know, all over the internet, this kid, that. Nah, because again, I'm not naive. My numbers weren't like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And again, as I had told you, I felt as though I had underachieved. And I did, because I should have, but it's okay. It's all right.
Right.
I don't need that.
So
I appreciate you.
let's get to the moment of truth, man. And I'm gonna throw a little nugget in here for you.
Oh.
That's your top 5, right?
Yeah.
I want your top 5 from NYC, but then I also want you to give me which borough produces the best players.
Woo!
You knew I was gonna come back hard, man. Come on.
Yeah, wasn't prepared. All right, so let me go my top 5, and it might be more, but it's difficult. Again, I love him to death. Got to go with you, Kenny Anderson. And then after, I'm gonna go ahead and say two others: Kenny Smith and Rod Strickland. But of course, I'm going with Chipper. And then I want to go. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench out. My uncle, D-Rod, Devin Robinson.
Man.
Brooklyn BK to the fullest. But along with him, and I gotta go. What's the name? Oh, damn it! I just had Fly Williams, one of the legend, the super scorer out of BK2. And then I want to go Bernard King, of course. And with Bernard King, I want to go Lamar Odom.
Okay.
And then I want to. I guess I want to go ahead and end it with It's got to be the captain, Lou Alcindor.
Nobody ever brings him up, man.
It's crazy, and you see it, and when you put them numbers up against MJ, it ain't even really.
That's another.
I'm MJ fully. I'm MJ fully. That's tough.
That's another story, man. That's another conversation between Kareem and MJ.
No question, but nah, I gotta go Lou Alcindor. Now, what you saying, top borough?
Yeah, which borough produces the best players in your opinion?
I gotta say almost Brooklyn. Like Brooklyn was always that grimy, that they get out, they just do or die, like that's that. Like I'm gonna go ahead and say BK when I was coming. I'm not looking at. I'm just talking about the way that they went. I shouldn't say the way that they've gone. Like Brooklyn's been that borough for me. Some will say Harlem, some may say Queens, but I'm gonna go ahead and say BK.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Again, man, I appreciate you coming back to
Nah, this is
work again, man. But you I think just like Harold Dean said, man, I think people need to start giving you your flowers, man.
I appreciate him. Like he was there when I was struggling, and he always tried to uplift me. And that you talk about one of the hardest working dudes. I watched it, man, and if I had his work ethic back then, I really wasn't into that gym, getting up extra shots. This man came in there. He was a shooter and a defender, and he taught himself how to handle the basketball, how to play that point guard position during the season, man. Like he's so focused. When he focuses, it's crazy. And if he would have left his sophomore year, he would have been a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, we talked about that. So real quick, Jamal, this is what I want you to think about when we come back on the show with your family, man. You know I'm gonna ask you, Shawan, and Coach Rob who's the better player. So get your mind right, all right?
I'm ready. I can't wait, man. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Look, man, I appreciate it, man, and just stay safe, man, and good luck.
Appreciate it, babe. You too, man. You too.
All right, man.
Yep.